Okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I mean, hello?
Okay, well, very good. And Monza is a beautiful city. I enjoyed my time there, and I will use some examples in Monza of um, things to work on to improve OpenStreetMap. And OpenStreetMap is
Eddie, no, you're
different
pulling.
from other maps that you might be used to using. And so I'd like to give some examples here. The first thing is a place, which is a village or a town or a city, should only have one point of interest node. And the reason for this is when software like Maps.me or other the ID editor or just OpenStreetMap, when you search for a place, if there are three places, uh, for example, this village has three different tags for the village. Now, if we want to use the central part um, of the village for the point, and so these three nodes should be combined together, and I will show how to do that. And then the same thing is true for a business. So here, this is in Kahama, and we have three different nodes for an amenity equals bank. And it, I've been to this place, but I don't remember if it's NBC Bank, Azania Bank, or NBC and Azania Bank, or maybe it's two banks. And so that's where a local person needs to have that decision. Now, the challenge is if you have Paul, you said there were six people doing mapping. Well, if maps.me does not update automatically, it only updates when you're connected periodically to the internet. And so it's important to subdivide each sub-village or neighborhood and not overlap, because otherwise the same every all six people would add a tag for the same building. So I think what we have here is three different mappers added the three tags. Here would be an example of putting the label in the central part of the village. This is a small village. Uh, it does have a population of 4,000, so it is a village. And putting the label right at the road intersection is a good example. Um, and then also you can you want to add a tag and for the restaurant, but you can also say what kind of food is served there. See, do we have a question?
Ye-
Oh,
Harry,
Harry says
yeah.
the one building has a different bank office, and uh, so the in that case, let me go back then. Thank you, Harry. Where if the we you would identify the office. Um, so Harry, you're saying there's two different banks in the same building?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So then that's okay. But in this case, we have one of these tags should be removed. Probably this one with the that says both, because if Azania Bank is different than NBC Bank, and so we you need to have them as separate tags, because if you're a customer for Azania Bank, it doesn't matter. You want to be able to search for just that. So in that case, you would have two tags, but because they're different features. So we also cuisine. You could this is kirimoto, and so that you could say you need to say cuisine equals kirimoto. Um, okay, so one of the things that is a challenge for you in Tanzania is that the the words commonly used in Tanzania for different features is different in OSM. So village is an appropriate tag for a place in OpenStreetMap, but subvillage is not. So here we have a subvillage of Milindo, and it actually in this part of the overall village should be tagged as either a neighborhood or a hamlet. And then as we look at this this village, even though in Kiswahili it makes sense to say village, it's redundant in OpenStreetMap to say Mwanda Kulima village. It should just say Mwanda da Kulima, and then it should be moved to the middle of the intersection here. In Swahili, then it would be okay to have the name of the village and the word village, but in OpenStreetMap, adding village to the end of the name is redundant. And then here we have an example of it should not be all capital letters, and then the term is proper case. So here we have the same hotel. It looks like an American was doing the tagging because this is American spelling, and then the more the Commonwealth spelling of center, but you can see that the H in hotel should be a capital, and the C in center should be a capital. These 2 points should be combined, and then this village here, the name should be capital letter K and then lowercase for the rest of the letters. And then again, here's an example of a couple of different places where the editing needs to take place. Now, this very easy, it's difficult to do those changes in maps.me. And so this is not bad, because people in Gahama were doing the editing, and they said this is a Peace Hotel, and then the key is getting back and using ID when you have a good connection to the internet, and then combine these 2 points together to spell Peace Hotel correctly, and make this proper case, and remove the duplicate. So, and I'll show how to do that. Also, there's many times I see the issue where maybe not mappers, local mappers, but sometimes remote mappers will add a name that says building. In this case, they misspelled building, but the only thing that should be on the name is the proper name of the business or the city or the town. So name equals building is not necessary. I don't know what PPF means. And just like many times you'll see a church, it's an SDA church. Well, because I know Seventh-day Adventist, but most people may know SDA, but it's better to spell out Seventh-day Adventist. So what does PPF mean?
Something fund, pension something fund.
Oh, the public pension fund?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, it's important to put the full name rather than just abbreviation. Now, if you know what it is when you're using maps.me, like SDA church, it's easy to type SDA church. Then when you get back to, when we're using ID, you can spell out Seventh-day Adventist Church. So it's because it's not just local people who will be using the map, but aid workers or visitors to a place and will need to use it, and they may not be familiar with the local abbreviation. So personal names are should not be included. You know, the example, there's two examples here. John's Hardware Shop. Okay, well, that's the name of his shop, and so name should be there. Ngolina's shop is same thing. Here we have Manaka's house. So I don't know if this is Manaka's house or Manaka's dollar house. Maybe Manaka is a small bank or a money lender, but it should not be. You should not have someone's name because for privacy, and that's even though maybe everyone in the village knows where everybody lives. Once you put it on the internet, then it's not not safe to do. And so it's better to use a tag rather than a tagging to the building, and tagging the building. But then we also have issues where here's Mugumu petrol station and Mugumu filling station. So this is where also editing, when you get back to the back to using ID, should take place, is when you're because you've been to the place, you know that one of these points needs to be fixed. And then often we see people using remote editors making a land use equals residential, just 3 houses here. And it's better if you, it's not necessary to make a small residential area for just 3 buildings. It's better to have 10. Also then, we've been doing a lot of mapping of the schools. And so it's good to have the entire school grounds, which would have, you know, the headmaster's house or the hostel for the students that stay there, and not just the building itself. So you can see the large area in the that's mapped for the school. And then often we have people that are remote mappers that are rushed to try and map as fast as they can. Here we can see where several people have mapped the same building twice. They're doing very, not mapping very accurately and creating overlapping polygons. There should only be 1 polygon per building. And this is a good example where more mapping is not good. In this case, more mapping is bad because there are buildings that have not been mapped, and then buildings that have been mapped poorly, and buildings that have been mapped more than once. And so this is some place where you know, an editor needs to go in and do more mapping. This is probably not from somebody using maps.me. So this would be somebody in another country doing remote mapping, and we're working to fix this. But just so you can be aware that there will be times when you have problems. And then this is a common thing that can happen is you have a road that will go through a building. Well, that's a bad thing, because you cannot drive a car or through a building, or a motor taxi, or even walk. So a building should not cross a road. And then also here you can see that this road was snapped to this building. And so that's also a bad thing. And then the last thing I will talk about, and this is not maps.me, but if you have a road, it should be connected to the other roads in the ward or in the region, because this would be called an island of roads, where this village has roads, but there's no road connection to get there. So that's a brief example of the of using the tagging. And so here would be an example I said about using the cuisine, and it's amenity is restaurant, building equals yes, and cuisine is kirimoto, and then here's the Karibu Old Tafford Bar. But here is an example of this. This building here is snapped to the road, and so this would be an example of something where we need to fix it. And so what I will, it's just a building, and so I'm going to say disconnect, and then I'm going to say to move it, and I'm going to move it over here because this is a, I'll move this to this building, which has not been mapped. And now I'm going to hit the, I can right click and choose the square option. So now this building is square, and then it's done properly. I don't know why the name of this building is Ma, but that's where someone local can help. And then here is an example here where Highway Car Wash has two tags. Nick Shop is a bar, and there's two tags for the bar, and so it would be best to combine these. And so in this case, I'm just going to delete both of them. Let's see, Nick Shop and Nick Shop. They're both the same. When this says Nick Bar and this says Nick Shop. And this one has draft beer. I don't know which one is the proper name. I don't remember. And here, this one is Club Masai. It's a pub. I don't know the name. So let me go to Mwanza to look in and see some of the if there's any issues here.
Emmor, I think it seems that Paolo's dropped. So alternatively, you could look at, I mean, I don't know how well anybody here knows Mwanza, if you need their local knowledge, because otherwise you could look at Mugumu maybe.
Okay.
Which certainly Harry knows extremely well. And I think we've also...
How do you spell Mugumu?
Mugumu.
It's not showing up. No, it's not showing up in Mugumu for Mugumu. Where
Don't you click on search worldwide?
Oh, okay. Okay, so here's an example of where we should it's better to use a so Harry, you're familiar with Mugumu?
Yes.
So here would be a this would be an example of the SDA church. So we'll say so here now so the name so this would be the proper way to fix the name. the so here let's see. So I'm trying to see where is there a tag for Mugumu? Because this would be, oh, here. So this, I would say this is probably the central part of if someone says I have to go to Mugumu, this would probably be the central part right here.
Would you agree, Harry?
Come again?
Is that the center of Mugumu?
Yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah. So I'm not sure where the actual tag is. I think it might be attached to the polygon. But let me look here. This says grinding machine. Name grinding machine. Yeah, no, I don't know why this one's showing up as a so this one here is probably a neighborhood, not a village, or it might be a hamlet. Matare.
I think Matare is a village, isn't it, Harry? Harry?
Yes, Matale is a village. It has 3 hamlets.
I see.
Yeah.
So, but again, we because it is a place as village, there's no need to have the name village as a part of it. And what would it be in? See here, Kijiji is village in Kiswahili, correct?
Very correct.
Yeah, and so this is correct in Kiswahili, but in English there's no need for the to have name. There was another issue I saw over here where you have a street that is to have a name equals unknown, that there's no need to say unknown. That's not the name of the street. And so we just delete it. And then this is actually not unclassified road. This one would be a residential road. Same thing with this one is residential. So try to see other issues. But there's a lot of mapping has gone on here, and it makes a big difference for people that come to visit to see all the extra the mapping that has taken place. Here is this John's Hardware that was my example. And so here we can see, let's see, here's the Mitumba shop. And so here's one that just says clothing shop, and this one actually has the name. So is the Mitumba shop the correct name?
Yes.
Yeah. So it would, this one would be you could delete this. And then, so do you know where the double E salon is? Because we have 2 tags for it.
Yeah, I mean, mind you, there are buildings which has more activity than there. You can have like, there is one building, but the place in the building is like it's subdivided. You know, you have a Mitumba shop, and within the building you have a saloon.
Sure, no, that's fine. I understand, and that's fine. So here we have gift shop and double E salon, but we have 3 tags. Yes. Double E salon here, here, and here. And so we need to. So if you tell me to meet at double E salon, do I go to this spot, or this spot? That's the issue. It's
Okay, double saloon is very close to gift shop, so you have to remove that. That one is okay.
and this one
It's not okay.
is not remove.
Yeah, yes, you have to remove the double. Yeah,
And is this the gift shop here?
yes,
Okay. And then this one is removed. So we have double
yeah,
E salon, gift shop, and then Matumba shop.
yes.
And in this case, it's good to have the tag right off of the street, because I will be going down, you know, in a moto taxi or a bicycle or walking, and so it you need to have the point at the front of the town, the front of the building. So here's also here's the tag for the building, or for the town. And again, the let's see. So we just say Magumbu, and we also have it in Swahili. But I think that we should move this to the more to the center. Wait a minute, is that where we said? Oh no, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, and we maybe put it at the intersection. So now we have the the tag for the town at the central part, and it can be a challenge where you have maybe a bus station and a market, and both are considered the central part, and that can be a challenge. So I wanted to go back here to one. There was some building I wanted to fix. So here would be an example of we have Wiza Fresh Cafe and Samaritan Stationery. There, Harry, you think they're in the same building?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and so we can put them like this, so that when you come from the street, you will be able to find the cafe or find the stationery.
Okay.
So a lot of good work has been going on here. This is making huge progress. So here we have a hotel. I think maybe it's better to move this to right here. And then it also looks like there's an extra building. It's kind of in the road, so I want to move it to this place and rotate. And then move the nodes of this highway, the road. And then this looks like it's a shop that's a part of the hotel. So, there's big challenges there. But the important thing is to do the editing in Maps.me and to not overlap. And then when you come in, here's an example of Serengeti Sunrise Lodge. And so we need to make the S a capitalize for Serengeti. So now it has a better, a proper case on the name. Okay, so Harry, other questions?
No, I mean, I think there you covered a lot by editing by using ID and do some correction. Yeah, I think there I've got it.
Right. Now, do you use JOSM at all?
Yes, I'm using JOSM most of my time, actually.
Good. Well, I think JOSM is a much better tool to do. Well, first of all, let me come back here and save. And so I just fix the, save this, which saving is tagging edits. And then when I switch to JOSM, now here we have, here's this example of a building that has the name equals building. So I'm going to just delete this tag because there's no reason. It is a building. You can see that it already has the tag on it. And then, so let me zoom out to go to the, this was Arusha. Let me go down closer, up to more in this area where we have, let's see.
So, Emmor, one of the things that we want to do is to have, say, like district level maps showing all of the village locations. So currently, as you know, there's quite a lot of work that would need to happen first in terms of duplicates, but also in terms of missing villages, I think. So have you got any advice about the best way to go forward with that, please?
Sure. Let me show how I would go about doing this. I'm going to download this. Oh. So here we have 4 places that say Kisangura. And I'll turn this off. So here's the Kisangura secondary school. And then there was so here we have a hamlet, and that has my tag on it. But let me also use the, we can use the water points.
Harry, have you done some work in this area?
Kisangura?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked in Kisangura.
So so here we have, so I think that this is the main village. So are you familiar with the water points data? This is what I use to determine the location. So I'm looking at water points. So village is Kisangura. This is Kisangura. And then, but when I come over here, this is still Kisangura. And then this says the sub-village is Quigena. So I'm going to copy this value and then go back to the data. And for here, I'm going to call it the Quigena because it is in the, I think Kisangura is more almost is it a ward?
Yes, Kisangula is a word.
Yeah, and that's part of the challenge. And so let's see where else is the trying to. So here is a tag here that says Kisangura, and here is one. So,
yeah, there is like this. Kisangula is a word, and there is a village called Kisangula too.
Right, and so I think this is the village here, the main part. And so what we do is we pick this one and this one. I pick the two, and then I go to more tools and say replace geometry. And so now it's just Kisangura here. Same thing here, Kisangura, more tools, replace geometry. And so now there's only, we have the ward, but then when you say you just go to Kisangura, you have the village, and we can move right to this this area. Whereas, you know, you have the cafe. Well, so now here's the question. Well, maybe is two shops, two buildings for the same shop? I don't know. But now we only have one name. So let me look and see if we have other. I think we got all the Kisangura.
Is that correct now, Harry, do you think?
Yeah, I think now it's correct, actually.
Okay. And go ahead, Harry.
Nope, just go ahead.
Yeah. No, so now when you use the map to say, take me to Kisangura, it takes you right to the center of this village. And then we also can look to see if there's other water points here, because sometimes it can be helpful.
Yeah, so I see the trick that you're using. Sometimes you can use the water point data to see with the village data, and you can make a decision based on that, right?
Exactly. So here's a sub-village, Mutkura. So now I'll come back here, and we'll download again and see maybe this. So this, it looks like this is a sub-village. Would you call this, or a hamlet, or maybe this is a sub-village, but probably would call this a hamlet. Do you think?
Absolutely, yeah. Hamlet.
Yeah. So I mean, so what we will do is we'll add a new point, and I think that right here is a good spot, and we'll say name Mitkura, and then we need to say place is a hamlet. So now it will show up as a hamlet. Now, I don't know, maybe it would be better to put this on the right by the main road. What do you think?
Oh, I always thought that Hamlet could be this at the center. I mean, not the village, but the Hamlet. There's more Hamlet, and then it has to be the center where there is many households. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's this is a difficult one because this is a hamlet. You know, it's maybe 15 households, and so it's probably okay to have it off in the center where most of the houses are. So here would be, yeah. So let's see, there's a fix me here. So the question is, where is the name of the church? Maranatha. So we don't know where the church is located, because it has this F on it, which is fix me, confirm the point. Shabani wanted to know. So maybe this is the Maranatha. But Shabani added this, so I don't know where it is. That's where someone in Kisangura needs to know. But here you can see the school has so these are probably teacher houses, and then here's the headmaster's office. So this is good how to have the entire campus area. So one thing that is good to do is you can also add the soccer pitch. Whoop. And again, you can combine geometry, replace geometry. And actually, you would say sport would be multi. So now it shows up more than it shows up as a soccer pitch. Okay, I think that's we've talked long enough. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I mean, for the case of finding the center and correcting the name is fine. For the issue of the duplicated village, like you showed me, like, can you go to example, which village? Can you go to Matare? There are a couple of villages I've done. I've deleted some of those names that are duplicate.
Okay.
But I just wanted to be very sure.
Okay, so I'm sorry, where would you like to go?
Matare.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me go in. Let me find in
Matare. Can I spell it for you? MATARE.
Here we go.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just north of Magumu town.
Okay.
It's close, by the way. It's very close.
Yeah.
To Magumu town.
So yeah, well, so here we have it should be at a place where so probably so here's the SDA church. Would the center be more right here?
Nope.
No?
Yes.
So where would you say the Matari would be? Oh, right here.
Can you zoom out a little bit?
Well, here's I think maybe right here.
But please zoom out a little bit.
Here's Magumu.
I see Matari down here. There's this Matari Center. You come with the road, Matari Dispensary.
Right here.
Okay, so yeah, zoom in.
So I'm going to move this down here. Oh, I need to move.
You sure?
Okay, so now we're trying to see where the, so here's Matare Primary School. I'm looking for the tag for the, where was the?
I'm familiar with the place.
Okay.
So
So it looks
where
like this is,
Matare,
go
the
ahead.
center. Yeah. So the place where there is Matare School primarily, there is the place where there is a center up to that area. Yes, into that junction.
Yes.
Oh no. Yes, there.
Okay.
Yeah, there is the center of Matare.
Okay.
So yeah.
So here's the primary school. So I'm trying to see where the other tag for
Village.
yeah, but I think now we have it moved, and this is fine now because it has all the has the ward and region, but and if you wanted to add the Kiswahili, you could do that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I deleted some of the duplicate village around the place, but my worry was like I wasn't sure if I deleted it because after I was using JOSM and I deleted the village that were duplicate, and then again when I downloaded the data of the place, it still came. So I wasn't sure like was it really deleted?
Well, that's where if you tag the polygon with the name, then that can be confusing. So here's an example where we have Witumawe twice. Is it a hamlet or is it a village? I think it's probably a hamlet.
There's no such name called a village, and there's no such name called hamlet in Matare.
I understand, but that's the words that OpenStreetMap uses for a sub-village.
Okay.
There is no tag for hamlet or for sub-village in OpenStreetMap. That's what I was trying to say. So
okay.
We will add the name SW, and then I will delete this one because this is I think this is maybe the hamlet. There's a sub village right here, and so now we have this sub village, and so that it can be confusing because in Swahili you're used to saying you're calling something that is much smaller than the OpenStreetMap definition of a hamlet, of a village, but in Swahili you would call it a village, and so that is the challenge. And there's many things that are different in OpenStreetMap than the language you're used to using. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, I will stop sharing now, and I better save before I go. Is there any other questions?
Not for today. I guess you cover a lot of my my question with your slides.
Well, and don't be afraid to ask a question. If you want to send me a WhatsApp message or an email, that would be fine.
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Thank you, Emmor. That was brilliant. And could you also send me the slides, maybe?
Yeah,